Hello and thanks for watching. I've got interested recently in doing some VFR flying on Vatsim Germany. I noticed that they often have controlled airports, even during the day, during the week. There might well be some. They have lots of events. There's probably at least 3 a week. There are some dedicated VFR events. You can find out about those on their Discord or on the website. So here are the upcoming events. You click on each one to find out more. I think we have to log in to access a lot of the stuff, but you don't have to register with them as such. You can do it with your normal Vatsim login. So here's where you put your normal Vatsim ID in, and then it asks you if it's okay for Vatsim Germany to access that. Obviously you say yes. So I'm going to switch now to a browser that's already logged in. And then here we've got a few useful resources. So there are some information. So you notice, of course, a lot of this stuff's going to be in German. So in your browser, there might be an option to translate it. If there isn't, if you've got Google Lens on your phone, if you activate that and point the phone at the screen, it just translates in real time. I find that really useful to just quickly look at something. Normally the browser does translate, I'm not sure why. Oh, yeah, no, I'm being stupid. So, generally speaking, the translation works well. Occasionally there'll be odd bits of information on pages that doesn't get translated, and then you can just use your phone. So there are some briefings here about the airspace and different airports. Let's say you want to go from a fairly major one. Tells you where to find charts. And one of the things is, do you need to call for startup as a VFR pilot in a light aircraft? You can see on this page it says yes you do. We can also get information from the German AIP, which is freely available to the public. AIP online. Here we are. So it comes in two distinct sections, IFR and VFR. Sometimes there's information in the IFR section you might want. So for example, if you want to know, do you have to call for startup? That information might be in the IFR section. I mean, you could just send the controller a private message, couldn't you? But if you like to have a read around, it's all here. So let's say we're going to fly from, I'll show you a little nav map. There's an airfield here, Frankfurt-Hahn, which is often quiet, often controlled, and is, like all of the German airfields, beautifully modelled in X-plane. This is on the map. This is the Open Flight Maps theme, which I think is in Little Nav Map by default, and it covers most of Europe, not the UK, and is a fantastic representation of the airspace. It's actually the chart, it's not Little Nav Map's interpretation, it's actually the chart, it's the backdrop, and you can see the accurate flight levels and the codes, frequencies, and it has the reporting points around the airfield. So Frankfurt-Hahn has 4, there's one here, one here, one here, and one here. That's very common. I don't know if the bigger ones do. There's one down here for Frankfurt, Main. Yeah, looks like they do. If it's a solid triangle, that's a compulsory reporting point, so you have to phone in when you get there. And if it's a unfilled triangle, I don't think it's compulsory. Right, so we'll use this as our example. So let's go to aerodromes, Frankfurt Hahn, and then this has the relevant documentation. If you click on the first one, to advance you can click on the forward arrow. Then we get to the charts, and you can see here are the 4 reporting points. And it tells you the altitude restrictions for them and the headings to fly to get to and from them. And there's a closer up view with some information about the runways. And generally speaking, there's either 2 columns of text, one in German, one in English, or for smaller entries, it'll be in German, then a slash, then the same thing written in English. So it's really easy as a non-German speaker to find the information that you need. And when you talk to controllers, they speak way better English than I do. Some of the charts can be a little difficult to read, so this parking one is quite small. And if you ask your browser to zoom it up, it doesn't really work because it just zooms up the web page and not the actual content. So what I've been doing is, for every page that I'm interested in, if you go to print and save as a PDF, then you can open that back up in its own tab, and then you can zoom it up. So you could have like however many charts you need for your flight, all in separate tabs. One thing of note on the parking chart, so GAT, General Aviation Terminal, I think that is. The first time I arrived there, the controller told me to taxi to GAT, and I just assumed that was General Aviation, but I see it on the chart now, so don't be surprised if you get that instruction. In the Vatsim Germany, there's a forum, and you can go down to Pilot Talk, and I found that really useful to ask information about stuff that I wasn't sure about. Got a reply back very quickly. There's a knowledge base that's got some information there. There's a phraseology section. Which will give you examples of the formats that they would expect. Very similar to what you'd use in the UK, but I think it's nice to do it exactly as they specified here, if you can. And there's a VFR book. Looks like there's 2 of them. So, information here about how to join and leave the control zone, and examples of the conversations. And as you would expect, traffic circuit is left hand unless otherwise specified, and 1,000 feet above ground unless otherwise specified. And as you would expect in Europe, VFR conspicuity 7,000. And in the book section there's trainings module PTD. Won't allow me to translate just yet. And if you scroll down there's phraseology, and for VFR. So if you're having trouble translating this, in Chrome you can select the text, right click, translate to English, and then for some reason now get the option to translate the full page. I translated it to English and then printed it as a PDF, just say faffing about. So in here I think it's quite nice because it was just specified in simple terms what communication they expect. Here it simply says you give the two call signs and a greeting and then you wait. So once they respond, information that you would normally give, so pretty much exactly the same as you would do in the UK. I think that's pretty much it really. I think once we've digested all that information, we are ready to go. So we know where to get the charts from, we know we can speak in English, we know what information we need to give, we know we've got to use the reporting points, we know we call in at those and give our altitude, and that's it. So thanks for watching. In the next video we will make a flight. Okay, bye bye.